Okay, so today's presentation will be looking at Zoom. It's a beginner's guide to using Zoom. So this course will cover an introduction to Zoom. We'll also look at downloading Zoom. Again, we'll need Zoom downloaded onto our device and to be able to use it, whether it's on an app, on a smartphone, or an iPad or iPhone, or alternatively using a laptop. Also, then once you have the Zoom downloaded, then we're looking at setting up a Zoom account. So again, we'll look at all the steps that are involved with getting an account set up. After that, then once you have Zoom downloaded, you have the account set up. We'll be looking at using Zoom. So again, we're looking at the main page when you sign in and the different features that are on that page and what each stage or function includes, or what you can do with each. And then also after that, then we're looking at the different features of Zoom. Some of the features including contacts, inviting other colleagues to a meeting, schedule meetings, etc. After that, then we'll look at troubleshooting, so some of the things that may go wrong when you're using Zoom and how to deal with them when they do happen, or if they do happen. And then finally, some frequently asked questions that do occur when using Zoom. Now again, some of these questions will be answered during the presentation, and then there's one or two at the end which will be covered, which we can go through also. So Zoom itself, then, the basic plan when you download Zoom and set up an account includes a limited number of meetings. So that's one meeting at a time. And now there's no time limit on a one-to-one meeting. So again, when you're scheduling a meeting, and we'll be going through that on the presentation, you'll see that you can set a time, but again, it's unlimited. So no time limit at all in one-to-one meetings. The other side of then is there's a 40-minute limit on meetings with three to 100 people. So again, the maximum you can have in a meeting is 100, but more than two people in a meeting, there's a 40-minute time limit on those meetings. And again, then if you're looking for more than 40 minutes on a meeting, if you have more than two people and up to 100, then you have the option of upgrading your account. Now again, you can use the link here that's on the slide to click on that, and it will show you some of the different plans that are available to you. So again, that will lift the restriction on the time limit, amongst other things. So the requirements that are needed before we look at setting up an account or downloading Zoom, as I mentioned on a previous slide there, you have the option of getting Zoom, the app, on an iPad or iPhone or on an Android device. And then alternatively then, as you can see with the link here, we can go to the Zoom website if you're using it on a laptop. And again, another thing that you will need when you're going to use Zoom is a good internet connection. Again, you don't want any connection problems when you're setting up a meeting or within a meeting. Speakers and a microphone then, so they can either be built into your device or you can connect the speakers and a microphone with wireless Bluetooth. A webcam then, same as the speakers and the microphone, it can be either built in or plugged in then with a USB plug-in. The next thing then that you'll need, alternative to webcam, would be a HD cam or a HD camcorder with a video capture card then also as part of that. And then finally then you can join a test meeting to familiarize yourself with the Zoom and test your microphone speakers before joining a Zoom meeting. Now again, this is something that you might want to leave to do until you have the account set up or Zoom downloaded, but also you can do it before you start also, again just using the link below beside the text there, just to access that site there to test both speakers and microphone before you start. Make sure they're in good working order. So the next step then is looking at downloading Zoom to use the program. So you click on the link below to access the download center and then download Zoom client for meetings. So again, the link there will bring you to a new tab, and then you'll come across a page like so, and then you click on the blue download button, which will download Zoom, which you'll need when you're going to be using the program. After downloading the software, then you need to sign up to the service with your email address or either a Google or Facebook account as an alternative. So again, clicking on the link to access the Zoom website, and this will bring you to a new tab similar to the last slide as well. So again, it'll be a separate tab. So one tab for downloading the website or the program, and then another tab then for setting up an account. So once you've clicked on the tab, it should bring up a window like so, or a tab like so, and you can click on sign up for free, which will start the process of signing up an account or setting up an account. And again, as I mentioned above, you can use your work or standard email address, or you also have Google or a Facebook account. So the next step after that then is you can sign up, as mentioned, with your work or standard email address, and then using a Google or Facebook account. So the top option there on that particular page, then once you've click on sign up for free, is you will use the box to enter in a work or standard email address, whether it be Yahoo or Hotmail. The alternatives then also are a Gmail account or Google account, and also a Facebook account. After signing up, then new users will be sent an activation email. So again, as soon as you either use your Gmail, Facebook account, or work email, you'll be sent an activation email. And then to activate the account, you will click on the activate account button to verify your email address. Now again, as you can see, you will receive an email similar to the one here on this slide, and it will have a large blue button that says activate account. So again, just clicking on that will activate the account for you. After activating your account, you will need to enter your first name, last name, and a password to continue. So as soon as you click on activate account, it will bring you to the next screen here, as we can see on this slide. So what you need to do on this screen is enter a first name and last name in the boxes provided, and then after you've that done, enter in a password, and then enter in the same password again just to confirm that password, and then finally just click continue at the very bottom of the page. After activating your account, then you are ready to use Zoom. So the next step then is just to search for the Zoom app on your device and then click on Start Zoom. So you'll see on our screen here, we've searched for Zoom in the search bar at the bottom of our page, and then we get a list of best matches or results relative to the word. You click on Start Zoom, and then the Zoom app should open then after this. After launching Zoom, then you can click on join a meeting to join a meeting without signing in. So again, you'll see that in the middle of the screen. So if you click on join a meeting, this will bring you to a page which will allow you to join a meeting that's scheduled by another person. So again, that person will send you a link for that meeting, and you won't need an account. You just need the link, which will be sent to you by email or messenger. The other option then that's available to you is to sign in. So if you want to log in and start or schedule your own meeting, you can just click sign in, and that will bring you to the sign in page. So after clicking sign in, it'll bring you to the sign in page. So this is the page that comes up on your screen once you click on sign in. You can sign in using your Zoom account, or you can use your Google or Facebook account. So again, you'll see the options here for you. So you have your Zoom account on the left hand side, or you could have used a Hotmail or Yahoo account instead of work email address. So then you have Google, and you also have Facebook that you can sign in with. Also then, if you do not remember your password for your Zoom account, you can click forgot to reset your password. That will allow you to enter in a new password and to sign in again if you have forgot. Once you've gone through that process then of signing in, this is the first page or screen that will greet you once you've signed in. So this is the next section which looks at using Zoom. Now again, you'll see on the top of your screen, and we'll go through these sections later on in the presentation. We have the home section, the chat section, meetings, phone, and also contacts. For this particular section now, we'll be looking at the four larger icons in the middle of the screen, which includes new meeting, joining a meeting, schedule a meeting of your own, and also sharing your screen. So sharing work that you might have on your own screen so others can view it also. So after signing in, then you will see the home tab where you can click these options. So again, as I mentioned, the four larger tabs. New meeting, this starts an instant meeting, and click the downward arrow to the right of the text new meeting to enable video or use your personal meeting ID for instant meetings. So your personal meeting ID is ID that you will receive when you set up an account. And again, this number will never change. So again, you can use this to send to other people, to invite them to your meeting. So again, if you're scheduling a meeting, other people will need a code to join your meeting. So this is the code in question, personal meeting ID. The next icon then is join. So you can use this to join a meeting that is in progress. Now again, we mentioned already you can join a meeting that if someone sends you a link or a personal meeting ID, and you don't have to have an account. But again, if you're signed in, then you'll click on the join icon then to join a meeting that is in progress. The third icon then is schedule. So setting up a future meeting. So again, this will be talked about in the upcoming slides about how to set up a meeting, how to schedule a meeting, and the different settings within the meeting that you might need to walk through or set up as part of that meeting. The fourth icon then on the home screen is share screen. So you share your screen in a Zoom room by entering in the sharing key or meeting ID as mentioned above. Now again, the sharing key is the other alternative that you're given when you schedule a meeting that you can send to someone, so they can use either or to join a meeting. So you have your sharing key, which will be given to you as a link to send to others in an email or messenger app, or alternatively then the personal meeting ID, which we've talked about. So the first of the 4 icons in a bit more detail then is new meeting. So you can start an instant meeting with these methods. The meeting starts instantly and you can invite others to join this meeting at any time. So as I mentioned, we have our personal meeting ID and a link that we can send to others that they can use to join the meeting. So you can use your personal meeting ID for instant meetings. Again, we can see an example of it here on the bottom right of the screen. So that 10-digit number there that can be used to send to others to join the meeting. Your personal meeting ID is assigned to you automatically when you set up an account, as previously discussed. And again, you can see we have the option of ticking the box of starting with a video. So as soon as you open the meeting or start the meeting, your face will appear on the screen, and you don't have to turn it on when you're in the meeting then. So again, that's a handy option to have also. This is the new meeting screen. So as soon as you click on start meeting, you will be greeted with a screen like so. Now again, you can start a video. So as we can see in the bottom left where start video is a red line running through it. We can turn this on and you will see your own face on the screen. You can adjust your video and audio settings in the bottom left of the screen by clicking on mute or start video to turn either setting on or off. So again, at the moment we have start video is off and the mute and the audio is on. Now again, we have the option of turning either or on or off at any time in the bottom left by clicking on either of the 2 icons below. The next step then within a meeting then is to invite people to your meeting. So now you can click the invite button. So again, you can see it's here in the middle of your screen at the very bottom. This will give you the web link to the online meeting, and other people need to have this link then to access the meeting or session. So again, we'll be talking through that, and you can see it in the middle of your screen, the invitation URL. That is something that you'll be sending to each person that you're inviting to the meeting. They will need this then to be able to access the meeting or join the meeting. You then send that link to others who you want in the call. You can either do this by yourself by copy and pasting the link into your messenger or email. So again, you can see the option there, copy URL or copy invitation, or Zoom will offer the email to email it for you through whichever provider you prefer. So again, you have a default email or Yahoo. So again, Yahoo or Hotmail or another work email, that is one that you may use. Or alternatively, then you have the option of Gmail, which you can use to send someone else to invite them to a meeting. Okay. Once you've sent the link for the meeting to the recipients by email or messenger, recipients will receive that link, and all they have to do then is click on the link on their devices, and they will open the Zoom app for them and bring them into the meeting that they've been invited to. So they're now in this session after clicking on the link, and they should all see each other in the meeting then on the screen. So the example you can see below here, you have 6 in total. One person has scheduled the meeting and has sent a link to 5 others, and everyone can see each other on the screen then after receiving the invitation and clicking on the link. Okay, so the next step then within that, so we've looked at the audio and the video settings, we've looked at invites. So the next part of that toolbar at the bottom of your meeting screen is managing participants within the meeting. So again, you have the option of doing certain things in a meeting. When you set up yourself, you can be the host of the meeting, so that will allow you to have control over the meeting. And now again, you can pass on these responsibilities to others, or alternatively, you can make them co-hosts so they can have control over the audio video settings within the meeting also. So what you do first of all is you click manage participants in the host controls to display the participants list. So again, you can see manage participants in the red box there under number 1. Once you've that done, then you click the drop down menu at the top left corner to close a particular participants list, or click pop out to separate a participants list from the meeting window. So again, we can see what appears when we click on the drop down menu located at the top left. We have both close and pop out. So again, as we mentioned, our pop out can separate the participants list from the meeting window, so you'll have 2 separate windows. The next step then is hover over participant and click more for the following options. So in this case here, we can see that Jack Barker, we've clicked on more, and as I mentioned there briefly, we have a few options that can be assigned to Jack Barker. You can make him the host of the meeting. You can also make him co-host, so again, he has control over some of the settings, whether it be audio, video, etc., and possibly inviting some other people to the meeting. You can allow the meeting to be recorded. You can rename the meeting also. And again, you can remove Jack Barker from the the meeting if needed. And also then at the very top, then you have a chat setting which you can use, and that appears on the side that you can chat participants in the meeting as the meeting continues. The next step then after managing participants is sharing your screen. So again, you'll see there that's marked with the red box on the bottom of the toolbar, which you'll see on your meeting screen. You click on the share screen button located in your meeting controls. So once you have this done, then you select the screen you want to share. Now again, you'll see some examples here at the bottom. You have your desktop, or you might have a document that's open, a PDF, PowerPoint presentation, Excel, whatever file it may be. And this might be open on your own desktop, and you might want to share it with others. Again, it might be a class that you're given, or just a particular meeting that you need to share a particular piece of information. So you can choose an individual application that's already open. As mentioned previously, the desktop, a whiteboard, or particular video or something that may be appearing on your iPhone or iPad that you might want or need to share. Next thing then, accessing the chat within a meeting. So again, I mentioned briefly on a previous slide there, you have the option of when you're clicking on more in the managing participants section, you can chat a particular participant at one time by clicking on the chat setting, but it has an individual section for itself. So while in the meeting, click chat in the meeting controls, and again, similar to the other sections there, it's marked with the red box. So again, you can see it on the screen as such. So you click on that chat first of all. Once that's clicked on, then this will open the chat on the right, and you can type a message into the chat box, or click on the drop down next to the to section in which this will allow you to send a message to a specific person. So again, it's showing an example here of everyone, but you can change that with the drop down arrow, which will allow you to pick, if there's 3, 4, whatever many people in a meeting, you can select one person if you want to send them a particular message within the chat when a meeting is taking place. Okay, so the second section then, which we talked about earlier on the home screen, the second icon is join in meeting. So as you'll see, the first thing you'll do is click on the join meeting button. So again, we have it here on our screens, the large blue button with the white in the middle with the blue crosshairs. Once we've that clicked on, then it will open a screen over on our right as such. So again, you'll see it here on the right, join a meeting. So what you do there is enter your meeting ID number, which we mentioned earlier. And again, it could be an ID number that's sent to you by someone else that you need to join a meeting, or whoever is sending the ID. And then also then you can select to enter your name underneath that in the second box. Again, we can see there Grant McLaren as the example here of the name that's on the screen. And then the last option then that's on that screen once you click the join button is select if you would like to connect audio or video. Now, as previously discussed, you can turn both or either of these on or off during the meeting, but you can set it that you'll have them on or off before the meeting starts. So as soon as you join the meeting, they'll be on or off when you're in the meeting then. And then, as I mentioned, you can turn them on or off as you see fit during the meeting if needs be. And then last of all, then just join. Okay, so the third of the 4 icons in total on that home screen is scheduling a meeting. So again, similar to the last slide, then you just have the icon there. So click on the schedule icon, and once you have that clicked on, then you should see a scheduler window that opens or appears in your screen like the one here on the right hand side of the slide. So again, we'll see a few things, and again, I'm going to go through them on the next slide, but just talk through them there while we have them on the screen also, just to refer to and see them before we go into more detail. So again, just going from top to bottom, then you'll see at the very top, previously the last slide, the same name, Grant McLaren's Zoom meeting is the topic. Now again, you can put whatever name you see fit relevant to the meeting on the topic there at the very top. The next thing then is a start date. So again, you can see the example here of Tuesday, January the 8th, 2019, and a time then of 11 o'clock. Duration then is 1 hour. And again, the time zone should be set to your particular area once you set up Zoom. So again, there should be no worries there. But if it's a case that is not set, then you can just change that using the drop-down arrow to the right of that. If it's a case that meeting is something that you'll be setting up to go on a weekly basis, then you can tick the recurrent meeting box. So again, it's currently unticked. So just tick that with your mouse, and it will set it up that it'll happen on a weekly basis, whatever date, time you have it set up for. You also have the video option then to turn it on or off for both host and participants. Audio section, again, just going to go through these briefly, so I'll talk through them on the next slide also. You can turn on the audio option for both telephone and computer audio, or just separately for either or, wherever you want in the meeting. So again, as I mentioned, we have topic first of all. So as I mentioned there, Grant McLaren's meeting, you can enter a topic or name for your meeting depending on what relevance it has to the meeting or what you need to name it as. The next section is start section, select a date and time for your meeting. You can start your meeting at any time before the scheduled time. The third section then, the duration, choose the approximate duration of the meeting. This is only for scheduling purposes. The meeting will not end after this length of time. And as mentioned then with the recurring meeting, if you would like a recurring meeting, the ID of the meeting will remain the same for each section, just ticking the box to set it up as a recurring meeting. Next section then is video section, so the host and participants. So host, first of all, choose if you would like the host video on or off when joining the meeting. If you choose off, the host will have to have the option to start their video then whenever they join the meeting. Participant then, choose if you'd like the participant's video on or off when joining the meeting. Even if you turn off, the participants will have the option to start their video then when they join the meeting or are invited to the meeting. Next section, audio. Choose whether to allow users to call via telephone only, computer audio, or both. So again, as shown on the last section there, you have the option to turn on the meeting for just telephone only, computer audio only, or you can turn it on for both. So both can be used in the meeting. And then the last one then is click schedule to finish and open the selected calendar service to add the meeting. Okay, and then the last icon then that showed on the home screen was the share screen. So you click on the share screen icon, the same as previous with the other three icons. Click on share screen, enter the meeting ID or personal link generated from a scheduled meeting. So again, you can see in the box below there where it says share screen, it's given the option to enter a sharing key or a meeting ID. And then once you have that entered in, select the desktop or application you would like to share and then click share screen. So again, you have a few examples here on point 3. You have desktop 1, desktop 2, you have a whiteboard, you have iPhone or iPad, and then other options available too if you want to share them with others. Okay, so this next section then will take us through some of the other features that are included within Zoom. So again, I just talked through the home screen. I had the 4 main icons that you would be dealing with when you're looking at using Zoom, but there's some other features that you can use also, alternative to those, such as using chat outside of the meeting section. You can use meetings and also contacts, again, in terms of setting up meetings, adding people to Zoom, and then also chatting people outside of a meeting. So they're the 3 sort of different features as part of Zoom also. So the first section is chat. So select the chat tab. So again, you'll see at the very top there of that picture on the left hand side, you have the chat window there that you can click on separate to the home tab. So again, you click on that to view private conversations with your contacts or group conversations. So again, you'll see some examples there. You have recent chats. Jack Barker is one example there, and Helios Lab is another. And again, just using the chat window where one person is typing in a message, hi everyone. So that's just one example of the chat window being used. Once you click on that, then you'll see just a kind of a more zoomed in picture of what's there on the left. So you can access the chat features in the left side panel. And again, you have the person that's using the chat window in question and the 2 recent groups or people that they chatted with. The next section then run across the top screen on the Zoom window when it opens is meetings. So again, similar to the chat option or chat icon, you can select the meetings tab and click upcoming to view start, edit or delete scheduled meetings. So you have a few options there that you can do with the meetings. As mentioned, you can view the meeting that's potentially been set up or upcoming. You can start a meeting that's previously been scheduled. You can edit the meeting. So again, changing the time, date, the audio and video settings, some other features that you might want to change before the meeting starts. And then alternatively then you can click on delete then to delete a scheduled meeting if you wanted to remove it altogether. So you can click the following options. So first of all, the add icon, which you can see there, schedules a new meeting. The next section or next icon within the meetings window is refresh icon. This refreshes the meeting list if you don't see your scheduled meeting. The next section then is start. So as you mentioned, you can start a scheduled meeting that you've selected in your upcoming meetings. And a copy invitation then, so copy a scheduled meeting invitation text allows you to paste that into an email, an instant messenger, for example, and send that to others. Click show meeting invitation if you want to view the invitation that you're copying, and that will be what you're sending to others to invite them to a meeting. Next one is edit the meeting. So as I mentioned, changing the time, the date, the audio video settings, other features like that, or settings that you want to change, and then finally delete. So again, if you want to just delete a scheduled meeting, you can click on delete to remove that. So again, we can see some of the different sections marked out there. So meetings, and then upcoming to click on to bring up the different settings that we need the user see. The contacts tab then is the next one then after that. So we've looked at chat, phone, or chat, meetings, and next contacts then. So select the contacts tab to view and manage your contacts. So again, you'll see here we have our contacts tab, which we can click on. It will open up a screen like so on the left hand side here, as we can see. The directory tab allows you to view a directory of all your contacts, including starred, external, and auto answer contacts. The channels tab then allows you to view a directory of your channels. So a channel is used for group messaging. So again, you might have a constant meeting that's being used on a regular basis. So you can use this channels tab to set up a particular group message or group that you can chat or schedule meetings on a regular basis, rather than having to schedule them from scratch every time. Star channels appear at the top of the list. So again, a regular group that you're using or dealing with on a regular basis, you can star them so they'll appear at the top of the list within contacts. The add icon then shows options for contacts and channels. So again, you'll see that on the left hand side, just beside channels and directory. You can do a certain amount of things within this. Once you click on the add icon, you can add a contact, you can create a contact group, you can also create a channel, as previously mentioned there, is for group messaging, and then also join a channel also. So the way to add an external contact is, first of all, to sign into Zoom. Once you have that done, then you can click on contacts. So again, you'll see the icon there that you're looking for, which you can click on. That will open the contact screen. And once you have that done, then you can click the add icon, which will allow you to add a contact. And then the next screen that appears is add a contact screen. So you'll see it here on the right hand side. You can add a contact by entering in a singular email address. Once you have the email address entered in, you can click to add the contact. And also you have the option of repeating this process with additional contacts. The other option then is available to you is you can add multiple contacts at one time by clicking on copy invitation, which we discussed already when you're inviting people to a meeting. So you can click copy invitation and send that out then in one group to a number of different people through email. This will allow you to add a number of different people at one time, as opposed to adding contacts one at a time in that other process. Okay, in this final section then will take us through some questions that may come up and what might happen and how to deal with them. So troubleshooting, and then some frequently asked questions, alternative to what we've discussed already. So again, I'm just going to go through this section here and talk through some of them different things that may occur when you're using Zoom. So the first one that may happen to you when you're using Zoom is my video or camera isn't working. So if your camera is not showing up in the Zoom settings or is selected and not showing any video, these tips can help you troubleshoot why it is not working. So the first thing you can do is make sure all other programs that use the camera, utilize the camera, are not using the camera, or that they are closed, so they're not interfering with the camera when you're trying to use Zoom. The alternative then to that is restarting the computer. So again, just turn it on, turn it back, or turn it off, turn it back on again. Usually does the trick on a certain amount of these things. It just allows the whole thing to shut down, and then the camera will be just opened for Zoom on its own rather than other programs. And then alternative to that, then if it's not working, you can uninstall the Zoom client and reinstall using the latest version from our download center. So again, you have the link there which you can click on to re-download Zoom, reinstall it, and then that should fix the problem. One of those three should work if you're having problems with the video or camera not working on your device. Second problem that may occur then is echoes during a call. So another problem with Zoom is audio echo during a meeting. If you hear audio echo or feedback during a meeting, there's three possible reasons why this is occurring. The first one then is someone could have both computer and telephone audio active at the same time. In this case, you want to ask them to manually leave one or the other, whether it be the telephone or the audio, or telephone or computer audio. They will have to either hang up on the telephone call or leave audio during the conference by clicking the up arrow next to the microphone icon and choosing leave the computer audio. Another cause could be that people with computer or telephone speakers might be too close to each other, again causing the echo to occur. Lastly then, the other problem that may occur is multiple computers with active audio could be in the same conference room. So again, to resolve either of the two situations I mentioned last year, you'll have to ask the two people that are too close to each other to move apart, or ask one of them to leave the conference or mute audio on their device. This should deal with the problem of echoes occurring during the meeting or when you're on a call. The third option then, or third problem that may occur when you're using Zoom, is problem of sharing a screen. So if you're planning to share your screen during a call, you might need to check a couple of settings first. Make sure you have a solid internet connection and that you're connected to the call. Now again, I mentioned at the very start of the presentation, it's very important is have a good internet connection before you start using Zoom, again, so there won't have any interference with the quality of the meeting when you're in that screen. It's also a good idea to try a screen share meeting first in Zoom. You can do this by selecting Start with no video at the Home tab when starting or joining a meeting. Your meeting will then just start with only audio, and your video will not be turned on. So again, I talked through two options there on the home screen, when you're in a meeting, where you can turn on or turn off the audio and also turn on or off the video. So again, that's what you're looking for there, is start with just audio, and then the video will not be automatically turned on. And then alternatively, if you're already on a call and need to share your screen, try turning off your video by clicking the stop video button, and then choose the green share screen button, which you should see at the bottom of your screen when you're using when you're in the meeting. And then finally, one of the questions, so again, as I mentioned, a lot of the frequently asked questions are covered within the presentation. So this is just one outside of that list that would be asked, or does be asked a lot in relation to using Zoom. Do you need an account to use Zoom? Now, I've touched on it briefly during the presentation here, but to answer in a bit more detail, a Zoom account is not required if you're strictly joining Zoom meetings as a participant. So as I mentioned, when you're looking to join a meeting, if someone sends you an invite link, you don't have to have an account. If someone invites you to a meeting, you can join as a participant without creating an account. However, if the host has restricted joining meetings using authentication profiles, then the participant will need a Zoom account to access the meeting. And again, to answer the next question, probably what authentication profiles are in themselves, they allow hosts to restrict participants who can join a meeting or a webinar to those who are logged into Zoom. So again, you would need an account to bypass this particular problem that may occur. So again, long term, it's easier and better to set up an account, but again, you don't need one if you're just joining a meeting without restrictions set. A Zoom account is only required if you need to create your own meetings and send invitations to participants. Having a Zoom account allows you to create your own instant meetings or scheduled meetings also.